All right, good afternoon on Friday. How's everybody doing? Welcome to a whole lot of Zep. In the next few minutes or so, we're going to be talking diecast while we listen to some cool music in the background. So, got a little something old and a little something new. If you noticed, I have everything changed up front. What I used to have here was the Greenlight Series 6 Barrett Jackson. Now, if you'll notice what's going on here, convertibles weren't exactly my intention, but I wanted one of every color, and I'm still working on that. So we got a little bit of then and now. That monster. And I'll get to the Challengers in a few minutes. But right now, I received the white Monte Carlo. And let's just see both of them together. I showed the black one last night, and my daughter managed to get some courage up, but she had to go upstairs in her room and do it by herself. She said she did it like 4 or 5 times before she settled on the one that I sent over. I tell you, this kid really loves muscle cars. She's purebred muscle. I point out supercars to her, the Lamborghinis that I got, and she said they're okay, but her heart bleeds old school muscle, and for a 12, 13-year-old, that's impressive to me. Makes me proud, for real. Let's get this white guy out of here. Johnny Lightning did a great job with the casting of these 87 Monte Carlo SS's. I tried opening the hood on the black one last night, but it didn't seem to want to work with me, so I just decided to let it go. Do we really need to open the hoods to show that they open, though? I mean, we know Johnny Lightning has opening hoods. I'm not trying to diss the hood opening, but I really don't feel like fighting with it. We know they open, and the only thing that's under the hood anyway is a 305. This car, as cool looking as it is, it only pushed out 180 horsepower, and this was an SS badging in the mid to late 80s. 180 horsepower. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the car, but for the square body here, or the whatever you want to call it, G body, the Grand National was the heated competition. Well, there was no competition. It was just the Grand National. Sadly, that car didn't last long because the government put a kibosh on production on those cars. Thank you. The wheel wells look a little weird on this. I don't know if it's just me, maybe, but the front here looks a little weird. Is it look? Maybe it's just noticeable more because this is the white version. And let me see. Yeah, I guess that's what it is. Okay. So it's all really the same badging, same color striping, the red to orange. Period correct wheels. This hood looks like it wants to open. Now this has a little bit, and it's no fault of the black one. However, just the fact that it has the black outline on the headlights gives it that more authentic look than, not to say that it doesn't on the black one, but just that little extra added feature there on the front. I wish I could hold both of them up at the same time, but I gotta hold the camera with one hand. Okay. Let's see if I can get this hood open. There we go. At least this one cooperates. And there's that cute 305 cubic inch, 180 horsepower. Still, you gotta love the casting on this car. I mean, it's unmistakable. You look at it and you know right away what it is as soon as you see the color and the badging. You just know. You can see it a mile away. Not so crazy about the that gap. I don't know if it's as noticeable. I think, yeah, it is. Yeah, that kind of sucks. And it's not an M2. But overall, they did a beautiful job on these cars. They really did. It's done with such detail. And what I forgot to mention last night is they did do the tinted windows on the back, and I forgot to mention that, but still no Cyclops brake light on the rear dash. Yeah, they are. The white one seems to be more tinted than the black one. I believe it's the same color interior, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's the same color interior. Even the front window's got some tint to it. Again, it's got nice clean lines to it. It's the shape of it is perfect. Really, just one last time, I'll complain and let it go. I wish they put the Cyclops brake window on the back dashboard. Okay, so I'm done complaining about it. That's about the only thing to complain about, well, besides that little split there. That's a shame, but I'm not gonna let it kill me. It's nothing like the Heartbreak Chevelle, I'll tell you that. So, this is my 87 SS Monte Carlo set. And all their 87 hair metal glory. Could you just imagine riding down the street with the tape deck because, or they may have had a CD player, but you would hear either somebody playing Great White Snake, or Motley Crue, or Poison. But yeah. Honestly, I do like. I admit it. I'm a fan of the '80s hair metal. Just give you a different point of view of the cars before I put them away and pull out the Challengers. All right, I'm just gonna keep this to see if I can. Let's see if I can just. All right. While I'm putting the cars away, hopefully this doesn't fall over. That is the Porsche Carrera 911S. That is going to be given away to one of my subscribers, just at random. You don't need to do anything. All you need to do is subscribe, and you're automatically in the running. I will have to say this though, it's just for this first time, it's just the continental United States. I will be giving away cars in the future, and it will involve national and international, but just for the first time here, I want to keep it in the continental United States. It's nothing personal. I hope anybody that's subscribing overseas understands that. But I promise you in the future, you guys will be included in on future prizes. And with that being said, we're going to take a look at here's a 71. It's not that much different between the 71 and the 70. I actually have a 1972 on the way. So like Easter eggs. Yes, I do have two Plum Crazy, but the reason being is because I used to live near, not too far from Flemington Speedway, so that's a very personal car, if you will. Now, this is only the 340, and this one here is the Demon. This sucker pushes out, what is it, 840 horsepower? Is that what it says on it? Yep, 840. Just wanted to, I'm going to pull these two down because I need to talk about Dodge. Alright, I'm going to have to put you down again for a second so I can get these open. So in the meantime, there's that game piece. Again, all you got to do is be a subscriber, and in the continental United States, that's all I ask. And it's going to be one at random. There is no set day, date, or time. It could happen this evening. It could happen tomorrow. It could happen in a few seconds. My point is, it's that random. So hop on board. Don't be afraid to subscribe. Got some cool stuff going on here, and things are going to be changing a little bit, and the way I'll be displaying cars will be changing quite a bit, as my daughter and I are in the process of building Mel's Drive-In Diner from the movie American Graffiti. If you're a car guy, you know the movie. It's a great movie. Sad ending to Harrison Ford's car, but he was kind of a dick in the movie. All right. So I don't know, what did I do with it? Oh, there it is. All right. And look, here again, a couple more cars out of the blister packs. Just a comparison here. Something old, something new. There's several reasons for having this demon out. For one, it looks like they didn't even skip a beat with keeping up with the times, but sticking with tradition at the same time. You modernized a sweet-looking muscle car. What can I say? Now, let's just say the muscle car era started somewhere in, say, 1962, maybe with the 409, the SS 409, kind of kicking everything off. Maybe the wedge was earlier than that. Everything was all happening around the same time. It was the birth of the muscle car era. And from the 60s on into the early 70s, the car companies were just going crazy trying to outdo each other with awesome body stylings and speed, and who's the top contender, who's the top brand, you know what I mean? And sadly, as the 70s hit, first it was the government putting a stop to putting limitations on the muscle cars and their performance, and the gas shortage. Some of you might be too young to remember, but I remember actually being in line in my mom's Corvair, waiting in line upon line upon line for like one gas station in the township to get gas because of the gas shortage. And when they were out of gas, they were out of gas. So you either got lucky that day or you didn't. And so between the government putting regulations on on the car companies and what they can do with muscle cars, and the gas shortage, it hurt the muscle car industry severely. Not too many were able to survive it. The Corvette did, the Trans Am, the Camaro, the Mustang. I'm not sure. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. The Chevelle tried. They did a variation of an SS in '73, and it was just shouldn't have been called a Chevelle. It shouldn't have had the SS badging on it, because that's all it was just badging. It had nothing to do with horsepower, because there was none. But that brings me to Dodge. This car all but disappeared in the 70s. This Challenger. It was a beautiful car, and it was one of the ones that took a hit. It couldn't make it. And what happens back in, when did this start? In the 2000s, when the first Challenger came back. They modernized the muscle car, but they kept it looking traditional at the same time. I mean, there's no mistaking that you are looking at a CUDA, a Challenger. You're not looking at a CUDA. This isn't Plymouth. This is Dodge. Come on, Rick, get it together. But this is the Dodge Demon. And what I love about what Dodge is doing is they are literally keeping the muscle car scene alive. And it may be one of the final cars. The Camaro, I don't know what they're doing. They had something good going on, but they're kind of all over the place with that Camaro. They're making it look more squashed and wider. They need to retool that one a little bit. It's just my opinion. But it's that, and Mustang is going to a 4-door. I was just Diecast Clown and I were just discussing that the other day, and he's exactly right. It hurts your head. How can you do that? I mean, Porsche did it, but they're not a muscle car. They're a sports car, so they could get away with it, even though it still looks a little goofy. Dodge kept everything within the government limitations, and they managed to pull out the Demon, which pushes 840 horsepower at 770 foot-pound torque. That is impressive, and it makes me happy. Not because they're making something that's going to blow the doors off. I mean, of course, but it's a muscle car in every sense of the word. It is a muscle car for the 2000s. And they kept the vibe of the late 60s and the 70s alive. Where are the rest of the car companies? I mean, Camaro's trying, they're like I said, they're kind of all over the place. And this is one hell of a Hemi. That's just, it's just modern muscle at its best. And I gotta say, Dodge nailed it. They stay traditional. Um, you just know you're looking at a Challenger. Yes, a Challenger, not a Cuda. I mean, it has changed somewhat. Again, I understand we're looking at a 340 and a Hemi, but the Hemi from 70, the body style wasn't that much different, if at all. Um, let's see if I bring him in a little closer. It's cool because Dodge said, we're not going to let you kill the muscle car. We're going to keep it alive and well. And thank you for doing that. The Corvette stopped being a muscle car in the early 70s. Um, it's obviously now more of it's almost lending itself more towards a supercar as opposed to even just a high-end sports car, especially with the engine in the rear. That's a far cry from its muscle car days. So it's not a muscle car. It's just not a muscle car. It belongs into the category with, I believe, with the Lamborghini, the Ferrari, the Porsche. You know, you can't put that Corvette next to a 71 Dodge Charger. It's not the same anymore. Now, I know I'm getting off track of the Challengers. This, in every sense of the word, is a muscle car. And that's a Corvette right there. It's got a 427 under the hood. That is another fine example of a muscle car, and probably one of the last awesome versions of the Corvette in a muscle car, in my opinion. That's a 69. So Corvette's still around, but they're not a muscle car anymore. Camaro, I don't know what the hell they're doing. They're all over the place with their car. The only one that has remained true is this Challenger, and then they could have gone with a different name, but Scat Pack it is. They keep the Scat Pack alive as well, and any of you muscle car heads out there, you got to give Dodge their props for what they're doing. You got to give them a ton of thanks for keeping it alive, especially for the purists. It's not a bygone era. It's still there. Dodge won't let it die, and thank them for that. Again, the Mustang is wandering away from their heritage and going four-door. That's an end of an era. But this is a green light. Here, let me turn it over and show you. It's either a Johnny Lightning or a green light. Thick tires. I joke. And you know, this is an auto world. It's just done right. I love the black trim, the ground effects along the bottom there. Oh yeah, it's just menacing looking. It really is. It's beautiful. I love the black hood that goes up over the roof right to the back. That's wicked looking. So I guess next on my list is gonna be the Hellcat. Um, but I had to get the Demon, and I'm glad I did. This is it's a beautiful car. The lines are perfect on it. It's a wide body Challenger. 340. It's a little longer in the front end than its future counterpart. Gas tanks on the other side. The gas cap, rather. Excuse me. Again, this is a 340. It's just wicked looking. I love the front end. I love that shaker hood. The striping on it, the badging, everything is done right on this car. Mopar took quite a few hits back in the early days between the Ford and the GM guys. Mopar took quite a few knocks, and the funny thing is, who's still standing? Mopar. I gotta look at the Camaros again and see if there's something there that I can like about them. When they first brought that 69 body style back, I was definitely interested, but they keep changing the body style on it, and it's just enough. At least I think they have anyway, and it's getting more squatty. It's like losing. It's like it looks like a chopped Camaro. It doesn't need to be. I don't know. It's just my opinion. Enough with the Camaros. We're talking about Challengers here. But anyway, this is my Auto World Demon out of the blister pack, and this is my Greenlight 340 out of the blister pack, along with the two Johnny Lightning Monte Carlos also out of their blister packs. Just real quick, all you got to do is be a subscriber. That's it. And in the continental United States, and this could be your car. I am giving away at random. Could happen any day between now, next week, a month from now, 30 seconds from now. You get the point. Anyway, I appreciate my subscribers for watching. I'll be showing a couple more cars soon. I got a couple new sport cars that I'll be showing. Just getting up enough courage to take them out of the package. Once that happens, then I'll be able to show them. Anyway, thank you for watching. Whole lot of Zepp. This is Rick. Be safe and take care.